Welcome learners. Today I am here with the third video of Unit 11, that is Democratic Principles of Education. Now before starting this video lesson, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Neelkamal Saran, Assistant Professor in School of Education, IGNOU. After going through this video lesson, you will be able to explain the role of education in achieving sustainable development and citizenship education. You will be able to discuss the role of education in creation of a knowledge-based society, and also you will be able to explain the inculcation of values and peace education in democracy. Now, education plays an important role in equipping the child with the knowledge, values, skills and attitudes so that they can understand their rights and empower them to promote just societies. Now, if young children they do not know about their rights and laws and institutions which protect them, will they able to exercise these rights? No. It is not possible for them to exercise these rights because they are unaware of these rights. So, in this line, UNESCO develops educational programs to teach children about their rights and rule of law. These educational programs prepare them with a strong ethical assortment and empower them to become armor of justice in their schools and their communities. If they know their rights, then they can raise their voice in their school and their communities also. So, UNESCO develops educational program to teach students about their rights, and the purpose of education in a democratic society is to impart the values like equality, freedom, cooperation, fairness and justice into the souls of students. These values are essential in maintaining and improving a functional democracy in our country. Our today's topic is education in a democratic society. Now, what does this mean? What is education in a democratic society? Or what type of education is imparted in a democratic society? Society which follows the principle of equality, freedom, fraternity. In this type of society, what type of education should be provided, or what form of education should be provided to the students in a democratic society? So, education is considered essential for the success of democracy as well as it is as well as for a desirable social change, social and national development, and peace and progress throughout the world. In the year 1948, the UNO proclaimed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, including right to education, and Article 26(1) says that everyone has the right to education. Education should be at least in the primary and fundamental stages compulsory. So, this Universal Declaration of Human Rights says that education at the fundamental stages are compulsory. Education has thus been made the birthright of the child. Due to this declaration, education has become the birthright of the child, and the school in a democratic society plays a crucial role in providing quality education to the children for their individual well-being and the development of the progress of the entire society. And in order to achieve this quality education, education should also be creative, productive, flexible, need-based and relevant to the child's need and aspirations. Then only we can achieve or provide quality education to the children. How the education in a democratic society? Let us see education as a right and education for all. The Article 45 of the Constitution says that the state shall endeavour to provide universal, free and compulsory education to all children up to the age of 14 years within 10 years. Now Article 45 says that the state shall endeavour to provide free and compulsory education to the children up to the age of 14 years, and this shall be achieved within 10 years. Unfortunately, in spite of various steps taken by the government at the state and at the national levels, the goal is not yet reached and the constitutional directive is not realized. But finally, in the recent years, the passing of the right of children to free and compulsory education, that is RTE Act 2009, marks a historic moment for the children of India. Earlier, the education, free and compulsory education was a declaration, government declaration, but in the year 2009, it came as a right of children to get free and compulsory education. And this RTE Act came into force on 1st April 2010. This was for the first time in Indian history that children have been guaranteed their right to quality elementary education by the state with the help of families and communities. And under this provision of this act, every child in the age group of 6 to 14 years will be provided 8 years of elementary education in the age appropriate classroom and in the district of his or her neighborhood. This was the provision in RTE Act 2009 that each child should be provided education according to his or her age, appropriate age group, appropriate classroom and at the district of his or her neighborhood. The concept of EFA, that is education for all, is the outcome of the combined meeting of the 10th regional consultation meeting of Asian Program of Educational Innovation for Development, APEID, and the regional experts meeting on universalization and renewal of primary education and eradication of illiteracy in Asia and the Pacific countries, and this combined meeting was held at Bangkok from 20th to 27th May 1986. This EFA, Education for All, is the outcome of this combined meeting which was held at Bangkok. And the program chalked out therein was known as Asia Pacific Program of Education for All, APPEAL, APPEAL, which was related to 3 major areas. First area was eradication of illiteracy, second area was universalization of primary education, and third area was continuing education. In India, to make the declaration into action has continuously worked for providing education to all. In this connection, UEE implemented in the form of a fundamental right, that is RTE Act 2009, which is a great achievement. And as per the census 2011, India has reached the literacy rate of 74.07%. But it is still to achieve the goal of education for all. Still, we need to achieve the goal of EFA, education for all. Now, the next topic in this education in democratic society is education for sustainable development. What is sustainable development? Sustainable development implies development without hampering the geographical ecology and threat to global warming. Or in other words, we can say that sustainable development means economic development of a country without doing any harm to natural resources. We all know that there are 2 types of natural resources. One is renewable natural resources and another is non-renewable natural resources. So, renewable natural resources like wind energy, solar energy, water energy, these are renewable natural resources which we can get it back. Once we use, we can get it back. But non-renewable natural resources are those, once they are over, that means they are over. We use it, we cannot get it back. Like fossil fuels, that coals, petroleum, natural gas, these all are non-renewable natural resources. So, sustainable development across the world is the main issue in today's society, and worldwide discussions are going on for achieving this sustainable development. For achieving this sustainable development, educating the world community is the must. It is only through education that we can bring consciousness and awareness for protecting our environment, ecology, biodiversity and climate change. Education for sustainable development allows every human being to acquire the knowledge, skills, attitudes and values necessary to shape a sustainable future. Only through education, people can understand that we have to save these non-renewable resources. Economic development is only successful when we do not harm our natural resources. Next topic is education for enlightened citizenship. Who are enlightened citizens? Citizens who are free from ignorance and misinformation, who understand others' needs also, who have a positive feeling, positive attitude. Those citizens are enlightened citizens. And one of the important goals of education is to work towards achieving this enlightened citizenship. Education needs to promote civilizational understanding. From the ancient time also, the aim of education is civilizational understanding. We need to understand our civilization of our nation. And India has a rich and long tradition of promoting civilizational understanding through education. The inspiring institutions of higher education in ancient India like Takshashila and Nalanda promoted liberal arts and humanities education long before any other institution in the world. And even the different commissions also talks about the citizenship in democracy. Secondary Education Commission, which came up in the year 1952 to 53, it says that citizenship in democracy is very rigorous and challenging responsibility for which every citizen has to be carefully trained. It involves many intellectual, social and moral qualities which cannot be expected to grow of their own accord. So, Indian school education emphasizes the multifaceted development of human personality by providing them a judicious mix of curricular and co-curricular activities. That is why in the schools also you can see that different types of curricular and co-curricular activities, they are promoted in the school so that children can develop an enlightened citizen. So, enlightened citizenship can be developed among our students because different types of groups activities, teamwork which they do in these curricular and co-curricular activities, they work in a group, they feel togetherness while working in a group. So, these type of activities, they make them an enlightened citizen. So, these activities are promoted in our Indian school or Indian education, and Indian schools try to inculcate the qualities like discipline, cooperation, social sensitiveness and tolerance by respecting the uniqueness of all cultures, participating in each individual's festivals, encouraging cross-cultural discussions, etc. These can convert the differences in language, cultural patterns and religion, etc. into a very rich and rewarding social and cultural life. Another important topic is education for knowledge society. The term this knowledge society was first used by Peter Drucker in the year 1969. This knowledge society is a term used to describe the societies which have high level of dependency on their potentials and capacities to create scientific and technological knowledge, and they are culturally and economically characterized society. The concept of knowledge society encompasses much broader social, ethical and political dimensions. You know that every society has its own knowledge assets. So, it is therefore necessary to work towards connecting the form of knowledge that societies already possess and new forms of development, acquisition and the spread of this knowledge valued by the knowledge economy model. The idea behind this information society is based on technological breakthroughs. Various forms of knowledge and culture always enter into the building of any society, including those strongly influenced by scientific progress and modern technology. And our young ones who are especially, you can see that how they are involved in technology. Even in your house you can see that the little young children, they are well equipped with technology, this multimedia technology, mobile, how easily they are handling these mobiles. Even the older or elder people, they are unable to handle these multimedia mobiles as easily as the young children they handle this mobile. So, knowledge society should be able to integrate all its members and to promote new form of unity, harmony involving both present and future generations. So, children, they are our future generation. We should be able to integrate all its members and nobody should be excluded from these knowledge societies, where knowledge is a public good available for each and every individual. Every society possesses a huge knowledge potential that should be turned to good account. Another important topic is value inculcation and peace education. Value education is important aim of education in our country. Value regulates and guide human behavior and action in our day-to-day life. Values are embedded in every word we select and speak, what we wear, ways in which we interact, our perceptions, interpretations of others' reactions to what we say and so on. In all these activities, values are embedded and they are formed on the basis of interests, choices, needs, desires and preferences. That is why you can see that values changes from place to place. Whatever value is followed in our country, that may or may not be followed in other country. Citizenship value and peace education are the inherent quality components of any educational system. Proper practice of life skill education in school involves the young generation to inculcate values in their life. The practice of skills like self-awareness, empathy, critical thinking, creative thinking, problem solving, effective communication, interpersonal relationships, coping with stress and emotions make the young students honest, lawful, cooperative, selfless, sympathetic, dutiful, moral, ethical and spiritual entity. Even the National Curriculum Framework 2005 as well as National Curriculum Frameworks for Teacher Education 2009 They have equally advocated integration of citizenship, value and peace education in school as well as teacher education curriculum. Next is peace education. Realizing peace and harmony is the ultimate aim of any system of education. It is an essential and important component of every stage of education, either it is elementary or secondary or senior secondary or at the tertiary level. At each and every stage of education, peace education is an important component. Peacemaking component attitudes and skills can be nurtured among the children from the infancy itself. Nurturing self-esteem, developing social relationships and building autonomy and self-discipline are the foundations of peace education. Now, if you see on the slide on your screen, you can see that peace building takes place at different levels in a different ways. At the first level, personal peace is there. Personal peace means peace within ourselves, individual peace. We should have knowledge of ourselves, we should be able to maintain peace within ourselves. We should have love for ourselves, we should have respect for ourselves and we should be hopeful for the future also. So, the personal peace is important for the harmony with self. It conveys the message of harmony with the self. Next level of peace building is interpersonal peace. That means peace with others. We need to respect others' feeling. We need to have a positive attitude towards other. It is important for this interpersonal peace is also important for harmony with the self. Another level of peace building is social peace. This social peace means we have to respect for the other group within the nation also. For example, we should respect the feelings of the people of other states also, other religions also. So, we need to respect the feeling or attitude of other groups within a nation. Another level of peace building is cultural peace, which says that we should have respect for the others nations also. We should have justice, tolerance, cooperation, this kind of feeling for others nation also. And these two level of peace building, that is social peace and cultural peace, this conveys the message of harmony with others. While the next level of peace building is peace between humans and earth and beyond, which conveys the message of harmony with the nature and the sacred source. The broad aims of peace education are to understand the nature and origins of violence and its effects. We need to understand the nature and the origin of violence, and it is important to maintain the peace or to provide the peace education, that we need to understand how this violence has been or how the violence can be originated. Another aim of peace education is to encourage the search for alternative or possible non-violent skills. So, we need to search for the possible non-violent skills. To create human consciousness and humanize the human being is another aim of peace education. Next aim is to equip children and adults with personal conflict resolution skills. This is an important part. We need to identify the personal conflict resolution skills. To create framework for achieving peaceful and creative societies, to sharpen awareness about the existence of unmerciful relationships between people and within and between nations are the aims of peace education. Another aims are to investigate the causes of conflicts and violence embedded within perceptions and values and attitudes of individual as well as within the social and political structures of society. Sometimes you must have seen that our perception becomes the cause of conflicts. So, we need to understand the causes of conflicts that is embedded within these perceptions, values and attitudes. To develop a sense of unity and quality through cooperation, solidarity, cutting across caste, creed, color, religious barriers, etc. and to inculcate basic values like sincerity, simplicity, gentleness, modesty, compassion, humility, cooperation, self-reliance, self-control, truthfulness, etc. are the important aims of peace education, and the most important is to learn how to live peacefully and prepare a good citizen is the aim of this peace education. In the end, let us have a look on what we have studied in this video lesson. In this video lesson, we have studied the education in a democratic society, which addressed education as a right of the children, its role in sustainable development and for establishing knowledge based society. The importance of citizenship, peace and value education, which is the core of any educational system, has also been discussed in this video lesson. Now, there are some assessment questions for you. First question is, what are the qualities Indian schools develop in peoples for democratic existence? How can our schools train students in citizenship? And the third question is, what should be the role of teachers and students in the Education for All project? How can every member of the educated community assist in making this program a success? Thank you.